Hello, hello. Let's see. It looks like my mic is really loud. How's it going, Ethan? Hope all is well. I've moved my tripod and everything from doing phone videos, and now it's all messed up. That looks good.
Hello,
hello. My sound's coming out of my monitor. Get that fixed. Oh yeah. Sounds good. How's the week been? How was the birthday? Did you have a good week? Have a good dinner out with the family for the birthday and everything. My chair's gonna be going down. Like that. Let's see. There we go. Dang. My Ethernet cord is getting yanked when it goes down. I'm doing well. It's been a busy week, but it's been a good week. Had a good weekend, went down to visit my brother. And this week's looking good. I've been meaning to catch up on sleep, but that has not really happened. But it's been a good week. Yeah. Did you get to take the week off for your birthday, or you mean from the weekend? Like, I feel that feels like it seems to feel like that later in the year, like the more into fall we get, the harder it is to like start weeks again. It always seems like Monday is more of a grind. My throat's been dry. I went down to visit my brother and we went to a football game, and I get rowdy at the football game, so I lost my voice a little bit over the weekend, so my throat is recovering and is still a little raspy and dry. It sounds fine, but it means I gotta clear my throat a lot more. So hopefully it's not too big of an issue. I can't be bothered, that's funny. Yeah, that's always hard when you get a whole long period of time off. Gosh. That had to feel so nice though. Right? Like having a whole week off. Whoa. There we go. Stream is looking a little blurry on my side, but I don't know. I'm over it. It's gonna be... We got a good weekend ahead. It's always... These weekends are hard because these weeks are hard because I have plans on the weekends, and I have so much work that I need to get done during the week, so that I don't have to work much on the weekends. But man, does that make the week a grind. Oh yeah, are you big into, like, do you play the Pokemon, like, actual card game, or do you just collect the cards? When I was younger, I would collect the cards, but I have no idea how to play the game itself. Because I would always be upset when I got, like, energy cards. Because I was like, this doesn't look cool. I don't have any use for these. just a heads up, these Tuesday night streams are probably only going to be an hour from like 8 to 9 my time. That way I can get to sleep and stuff. But, yeah, just a heads up so you can kind of expect how long the stream will be. You just collective? Yeah. I'm glad we're in the same boat then. I'm sure there's a lot of people who do that like us, right? I don't think I have any anymore. They're probably somewhere in my childhood home. Somewhere in my room. I didn't have too many, and I think I gave a lot to my younger brother, and he still has some. He has a stack of them, but I don't think he's like actively getting new ones or anything. But just one of the things to like have laying around. Some of them look really cool, and I mean the nostalgic purposes too. But because do they have shiny cards? Is that a thing? I've seen like the holographic cards, but like the games have shiny Pokemon. Do they have like shiny card versions too? I stopped like getting cards in like 2013 probably. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's a good thing to get into together, or be able to like do together. Have you played any of the games yet? Some of the games I played were Platinum and Soul Silver were my main two. And then a couple years ago I played like 60% of the way through Let's Go Eevee on the Switch, but I got kind of tired of the mechanics of that game. There is someone I know that showed me this game, Poke MMO. It's for the PC, and it's like an MMO. Like, there's a bunch of people, you can join servers and stuff, but you play through, there's, I think, 4 different games in it. I don't know which ones exactly. Platinum's in it. I think the Soul Silver Heart Gold's in it, and Diamond and Pearl, I think. But it's free. You get 4 games in one. It's a little bit harder than the traditional games, I think. I've played like halfway through Platinum on it and then got bored. But it's really fun. If you want a free ease of entry and you have a laptop or a PC, it's a very not demanding game. Poke MMO. It's a super fun time. I highly recommend it. Oh yeah, Pokemon Go. That's fair. That's fair. I played that religiously. Probably like starting. I played it when it came out, but then took a break for like a year, and then during college I played it for like freshman to junior year. So for like 3 years I played it. So I hit level 40, and then they raised the level cap to 50, and I was just like, I'm so over this. And then that was when there was like drama with Niantic, so I stopped. I declared retirement. There, that's the official name. And then I think it's just like PokeMMO.com or something. Is the sound only coming out of like the left ear for you? Or is that just... I guess it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I switched it. Typically I don't have it on binaural for the football video, but I had it on for the video I recorded last night. I made another little sneak preview. I made another here in my garage video for my new garage, and it was even faster and more hectic than the first one. I forgot who commented. Someone commented asking for like a video with all of, maybe not all of, but the SEC and Big Ten matchups for this football video, which is a lot of games, potentially. And I don't know which ones are ranked, because this website doesn't show me which ones are ranked. Friday. I'll be able to watch the Friday games. Dang. Interesting that there's Thursday games this week. I'm gonna flip on over and start talking football. Flip on over to the desktop cam here. Bang. Let's see. We've got 2 Thursday games. They look meh. Kind of whatever games. Yeah. Meh. I don't know anything about these teams. But let me check what the NFL game is. Thursday NFL game. Buccaneers versus Falcons. There's not great football on Thursday. Oh well. That's okay. Can flip between the different games, I guess. Friday though. Harvard doesn't have a line. I didn't know New Hampshire was a Wildcat. What is that, 4 different Wildcats? There's got to be other Wildcats too. There's New Hampshire now. Not now, as in their new school. I didn't realize they were Wildcats. Then there's Kansas State, Arizona, and Kentucky. I'm sure there's others. But going through, we've got 2 of our games. We've got Houston and TCU, which is our Big 12 game. Our Friday night Big 12 game. And then Michigan State is one of the teams that was requested. And then slogging through the Saturday slate. Let's see. Iowa State plays at 6. Wisconsin won last week, I think. Ooh, Navy versus Air Force. Over under 35. Crazy. Tulane. What are these other games? Princeton. I don't know much about any of these. Cornell. Drake plays Valparaiso. Interesting. What conference are they? Are they Missouri Valley? I don't think so. Do we not have a morning Big 12 game? When is our Big 12 game? I want to talk about Iowa this week. Auburn and Georgia. Miami and Toledo. Where are the Big 12 games? What is going on? Is our first Big 12 game seriously at 3? No way, right? Colorado State, Oregon State. That'll be a good game, hopefully. Boise State. Can watch Florida State absolutely get smacked. What is going on? Are we in all-night games? UCF is playing Florida. Huh. Washington's favored over Michigan. Kansas, okay. Texas Tech. There must be a lot of buys this week. Let me check the schedule. There's that would be insane. What is week? Oh my, yeah, there's 5 teams on a bye. There's no BYU, no Cincinnati, no Colorado, no Kansas State, and no Utah. Dang. we have the Friday night game, and then we have Oklahoma State at West Virginia, Iowa State. That's insane. Our first Big 12 game is at 3. Wow. Wow. It's a slow Big 12 day. Is Texas on a bye? Who did we need? Who's usually in this? I have Michigan State. And then we have Texas and USC. Texas. Is Texas on a bye? Texas must be on a bye. USC. Minnesota. Alright. Huh. That's insane. That's a low amount of games. For Big 12 at least. Let's see. What other matchups are there? Let's go through this. What's interesting? What's interesting for y'all? I'm trying to remember. I didn't really pay too much attention to football last week since I was at a game. Who did Wisconsin beat? Wisconsin beat someone. No, they lost to USC. What was I thinking? Yeah, the 28th. I'll talk about Navy, I suppose. Air Force, Navy. Western Michigan. This is a slow week for football. For college football, at least. Sorry for the flashbang, by the way. I just realized that this white screen really flashbanged. UConn being favored in football was hilarious. App State. Ole Miss. Georgia and Auburn. That's fine. What other top 25 matchups do we have this week? Top 25. College football. Why is it so bright? Okay, if we're including both ranked teams, there's only one game. Let's see. Iowa State moved to 16 in the rankings. BYU 17. Utah. Oh, this is not. Okay, yeah. Iowa State 16, BYU 17, Utah is 18, and Kansas State is 20. And we have a tie for 25. Is it the top AP top 26 poll? So the only ranked matchup for both teams is Missouri and Texas A&M at noon, or 11, I suppose. Noon Eastern. Where's that at? Right here. We'll talk about that one. Boop, boop, boop. Why is Navy and Air Force so bright? I'm not talking about them then. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Low week for college football. Let's finish scrolling through here again. Finish scrolling through. Got Iowa. The Georgia-Alabama game was really interesting last week. I checked in and out of that game. Georgia was, I had them winning 2.5, I think was the spread. They were completely blown out of the water and then somehow managed to mount a comeback. Sadly lost, but Alabama, Vanderbilt's whatever. Colorado State, Oregon State. I like Oregon State, but not a good game. Boise State has that the Heisman for running backs. That guy who's just absolutely tearing through everything imaginable. Clemson and Florida State would be fun to talk about if we didn't already know how that's going to end. Michigan and Washington, sure. Oh man, the people upstairs flushed the toilet. Hawaii is fun to watch. 7 p.m. is crazy. Okay. Let's see. Who has Florida played? Florida football. They lost to Miami, who's ranked 8th. That's kind of crazy. Flew out Samford, lost to Texas A&M, who's ranked 25th, and then beat Mississippi State. So they haven't played too many people. They've played people, but they haven't, like, been great. UCF road game. There's a more important game to watch 15 minutes before that. That should be a good game. Who has Arizona State played recently? I guess the Wildcats down here lost to the other Wildcats, and then they just beat Utah. They beat Utah on Saturday? That's crazy. Beat Utah. Arizona State lost to Tech. Huh. Oh, they did they have a? They must have had a bye week. Yeah, last week they were on a bye week. Okay. What's for dinner? Is it leftovers? Jeez. Oh, Houston and TCU. That's right, Friday. Michigan State has just been having an awful time. I feel like the last 3 weeks they've been heavy underdogs. Houston lost to Iowa State. TCU. They beat Kansas. That's good. Lost to SMU and UCF. Oh yeah, the UCF toss-up. Interesting. Well, that checks out. Sounds like that is our football schedule. Getting emails. Okay. Friday. I don't know anything about Missouri or Texas A&M. Missouri Tigers. They're ranked 9. I don't understand the rankings. They're ranked like 13 points higher than... No, they're ranked 9 and Texas A&M is 25 and Texas A&M is the favorite. Beat Boston College, Vanderbilt. I guess they haven't played anybody. Who's Texas A&M played? Oh dang, okay, yeah. Texas A&M for sure. Alright, well, what else do we have? Michigan and Washington, that's going to be a vibes play. Iowa, I know how to talk about them, and USC should be fine against Minnesota, because we dislike Minnesota. And that is all. Alright, it's time to elevate. Alright. My old man knees. Ooh. How we looking? How we looking, cameraman? My head is cut off. Oh well. That's okay. So, similar to last time, I'm just going to record the video here on stream and say, like, I'll just do the usual video, and then afterwards we'll hang around until 9 p.m. or the top of the hour. Last time it was confusing for the people who joined during the video recording when I said, like, goodbye and see you in the next video, that people thought I was ending the stream. I am not, or I will not be. I think the sound's fine. There. Yes, they re-emerged. Texas A&M, that's right. I've got to click on them. Okay. Maggie, is there any other team that you want to see? Or anybody else in the chat that you want to see in the video? Or on the stream? Now is the last chance. Troy. How are we looking next week? That won't be on streaming. That won't be on. Wait. Tuesday? Wednesday? Thursday? UTEP just gets all the Thursday games. Huh. Oh, there's a Friday night Big 12 game next week. What am I doing on the 11th? The 12th? That's a weekend. Something. It's not. My whiteboard only goes out by weeks. I can't just look over at the wall. Anyways. Alright. Let's get the video rolling. I will record the video just like usual. No, I haven't looked at any of the teams yet. I have like all the teams that I'm going to do for the video up top here. So like I got all the Big 12 games. But there's like 5 Big 12 teams on a bye this week and not very many exciting games this week. So I've added some other games, but there's not too much going on, unfortunately. There's at least something at every time slot that should be interesting, but there's nothing in and of itself super interesting. So, yeah. That is right. I get all the plans for every weekend mixed up. Man, that means I got a 5K in 12 days. I am not prepared for that. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna record the video, so I'll be back, and well, I'll still be here, but I will not be reading chat during the video recording. And let me put Texas A&M's thing by there so I remember to talk about them. Yeah, I will not be reading chat, so if you're in chat, feel free to message stuff and I'll get back to it after the fact. But yeah, start the recording here. So switch to the other cam like usual. Oh, I should take my headphones off. Gonna charge those. Get those plugged in. and let her rip. Put that there. How we looking? Perfect. Alright. Maggie, moderate the chat, and if anybody asks anything that needs my attention, I won't even have the chat visible on the screen because I'll have OBS open. So, thanks for filling in the job. You don't have to, but I'm going to get started. So, last sip of water. Clear the throat, and we're ready to roll. Alright. A little washed out, but that's okay. I'm gonna get rid of that, and now we're good. Hey everybody, welcome to week 6 of college football. It's a bit of a lackluster week if you're not too worried about any particular teams. Across the board, it's kind of a midweek. There's a lot of teams on bye weeks now that it's week 6. A few games into conference play, but there's still some stuff to talk about. It was very exciting last weekend. Of course, the matchup of the season, the Georgia-Alabama game, was all over the place, and the Big 12 had some good games. Good teams showing up, good teams not showing up, and all over the board. But every game, well, most every game is pretty exciting. So, we'll get into it. How about I'm going to switch the screen over, and due to there not being as many great games across the board and 5 Big 12 teams on a bye, I threw in some other games that might be of interest. But to start us off on Friday night, 6:30 Central, I think this website's in Central Time, Houston versus TCU, and obviously TCU, big favorite, 2-possession, 2-score, almost 2 touchdowns and a field goal favorite against Houston, which Iowa State got the liberty of giving the business to, depending on how you look at it, last weekend. Iowa State beat Houston 20-0, but they were up 3-0 at halftime. There could be a lot of arguments made one way or another, but Iowa State has been slow every game at halftime this season, which is a concern that we'll address later. But, you know, there hasn't, I forgot what the stat was, but I think this is the first time in over 30 years that Iowa State has shut out a conference opponent on the road. But high hopes for Iowa State, low hopes for Houston. They are definitely by far and above the worst team in the Big 12 right now. And TCU's not bad. I mean, their record is 1 Hail Mary and 1 possession away from being 2 wins different. So they're a pretty decent team. They're not the top team, but the Big 12 is nice because the 8th best team and the 1st best team don't really have that big of a gap. We thought there would be even more of a gap at the start of the season with a few breakout teams, but it's really looking fairly even amongst the top. Moving into Saturday, like I said, with all these byes, the first Big 12 game isn't until 3 p.m. So West Virginia at Oklahoma State, and unfortunately, I never sell Oklahoma State early enough. They have dropped to astronomical lows so far this season. I was at the Kansas State game this past weekend when they played Oklahoma State and just gave them the business. Oklahoma State didn't look like they were on the same playing field as Kansas State. And whether that says more about Kansas State or Oklahoma State, you could argue either way, but Oklahoma State had a pretty abysmal outing. I think it was like 40-something to 13. I don't know. We left early because it was so blown out by the fourth quarter. They were up by 29. Oklahoma State's getting some points because they're home, but I'd love to see West Virginia win this one. I always love my West Virginia bros. So that's a fun rivalry. Not even a rivalry. That's a fun fan base to go up against. They're very, very fun. Very entertaining. And Oklahoma State I'm sold on them. Our second Big 12 game of the day is Iowa State at 6:30. Baylor's coming to town, and as you can tell, Iowa State's a 12-point favorite, which, going back to what I mentioned earlier about 8th place and 1st place not being that far away, this is one of those games every week, not even this game, every week there's a lot of games, even with this spread, that you have to be on upset alert about. I think Baylor could very well cover the spread. I hope that they don't win. I don't think they can. Jack Trice at night under the lights is difficult for any team, but I mean, it's easier for a conference opponent that's experienced that for years on end rather than a new opponent. But if Iowa State wins this will be the first time they've been 5-0 since 1980. So, because I'd love that to happen so bad, it'll probably come back and bite us and not happen. But if Iowa State can fix their slow start to the games in the first half, I think they're fine. If they can't get that rolling, then it's going to be rough. Baylor is also needing to make statements. Their coach could potentially be fired after this game if they lose in surprising fashion. They are not a great school, and they haven't given up. Not the school itself, sorry. They're not a great team. I'm not bashing Baylor as a school. I don't know anything about that. But their team hasn't given up on their coach yet, which is scary for an opponent spot because they could really come back and make this a very emotionally charged underdog game. I think Iowa State can win, but 12 is a lot of points. Especially, like, the over-under is 45. What that makes the team totals, I'm not sure. But I hate this. I hate a lot about this game. I think Iowa State can win, but the spread is terrifying. I have Iowa State probably winning by 8. UCF and Florida. So a Big 12 game that's not a Big 12 game, but we've got a Big 12 team. And UCF, again, they're not the greatest on the road. And Florida's pretty decent. They're a decent team. They're underdogs. But I'm going to root for the Big 12 in this one, of course. I don't know much about Florida. I know they've played kind of nobody so far. But it looks like it could become a little bit of a track meet. Over under 61 and a spread of 3 is like 29-32, 31-28, something like that. So it could be a big game. Big scoring game, at least. Moving on, we've got Kansas at Arizona State. And both these teams are more in that low-mid part of the Big 12. Kansas has just been disappointing week after week. What are they, 1-4 now? I don't think anybody needs to smack talk them any more than they already are. Like, they're bad. They know they're bad. And it's been such a switch from a year ago. Like, their coach was the new hot thing, and now there's word that the locker room at Kansas might be having culture issues. So I think this is a good spot for Arizona State. They can make a statement as a new school. They've had some good games, but they haven't really played too many people, I don't think. And I think it would be cool to see Arizona State win and also forget the Jayhawks. So I think that'll be a good game, though. All things considered, that should be a good game. Late night Saturday, last Big 12 game of the day. We've got Texas Tech at Arizona, and this should be a good game. I'd love to see Arizona win this. Texas Tech, I want them to be good. Like I said, they're always my dark horse, and they always disappoint. And this season is no different. I think they're both pretty decent teams, but I'd love to see Arizona win. But I do want Texas Tech to be good enough, because we're facing them on homecoming, that it's a quality win for us. Maybe not a super quality win, but it's not like a go beat a high school team win. But I wouldn't mind seeing Arizona win this. And Saturday at 10 p.m., that's a fall asleep to the sounds of the commentators type of game. High scoring, so we'll see. It might be another shootout, but Arizona would be fun to watch. Moving on to our not Big 12 games. This one again is Request Michigan State. This is a Friday game at 8 p.m., so jumping back to Friday. And I think unfortunately for the last 3 weeks, Michigan State has been a heavy underdog in the games, so there's not much to review. Oregon is a powerhouse of a team. Obviously 24-point favorites. 8 p.m. Friday night. I don't think Michigan State has too much of a chance. Maybe they lose by 20, but I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of points. Moving on, we've got Missouri and Texas A&M. This is the only ranked matchup between two ranked teams, which I may start doing, especially on slow weeks like this week. Missouri ranked 9, Texas A&M ranked 25, and Texas A&M is a 2-point favorite. So, furthering my misunderstanding or lack of understanding of how the AP polls really work and how the minds rank these teams, just goes to show that you can be, 16 ranks above and be an underdog. I mean, it's when you look at the schedules and stuff, Missouri really hasn't played anybody, and Texas A&M, I've got their tab for their schedule here. They lost, but they were close to Notre Dame in the very beginning of the season, who's ranked 14. McNeese State, nobody team, they beat them by 42. Beat Florida, which is respectable. Barely beat Bowling Green, so I don't know what that says, and beat Arkansas, who's a decent team. So Texas A&M has the, resume to be a 2-point favorite against Missouri, who hasn't played many people. I just don't understand the ranking in the AP polls, but that's a different thing. Moving on to a 6:30 game on Saturday in Washington. This should be a good close game. Obviously, not watching it because Iowa State is on 15 minutes before, but I like Washington. I don't like Michigan, and this is a toss-up game, really, right? 2-point favorite at home, lower scoring game. I think it'll be a good game. I'll flip over to it to watch the end of the half at halftime of the Iowa State game, but should be entertaining, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Now, Iowa and Ohio State. There's finally a game exciting enough for Iowa that I can talk about it. And they're 20-point underdogs, which should not be surprising, against Ohio State. I believe they were bigger underdogs when the lines for this first came out, like 23, 24 maybe. Everybody knows. I think everybody has come to terms with Iowa not winning this game, which Ohio State is on another level. They're in the top 5 in the country type playing field. But if Iowa only loses by 14 and they stay competitive, I think that's a moral victory for Iowa and kind of what they need right now. Like, this will kind of determine how the vibes for the rest of the season go for them, I think. If they get blown out, I think they're 0-7 in the last 7 games against ranked opponents, and they've just been struggling against decent teams because they play so many bad teams all year. This is their biggest game of the season in terms of team ranking or opponent rankings. Second biggest was Iowa State, and there's not much after that. So I think it'll be an interesting game. Iowa could get a moral victory there. And then finally USC, 6:30 as well, against Minnesota. I am anti-Minnesota. I think I've mentioned that previously, so I'll be pro-USC. I really don't know too much about this. I know Iowa beat Minnesota the other week, and I haven't really tracked them other than that. But there are more important games to watch at 6:30, I think, unless you're a fan of USC or Minnesota, then by all means. But I will be watching my Cyclones. So that wraps it up for this week. There's 2 games on Thursday, not huge games, and then the NFL game on Thursday is the Bucs versus the Falcons, so there's football on. You can flip through a few games. There's like 6 games on Friday, so there's stuff to do this weekend. There's just no big standout game, especially coming off last week where there were a bunch of big name games. But that's the rundown this week. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. If you want to join the live stream, it'll be every Tuesday around 8 p.m. If you want to come watch this live, hang out and chat a little bit before and after the recording, and talk football, talk whatever, and just hang out. So, hope to see y'all there. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. See ya. Nice, we did it. Looks like you didn't have to moderate anybody, Maggie. Good job. You did great. I made the bagged tortellini and ate that for dinner, and now I am so full, I'm so carb loaded, I'm ready to take a shower and go to bed after racquetball today. I'm going back down on the chair. The desk is descending. Welcome back. Oh, the desk needs to go down a little bit more. Oh, why, thanks. Let's see. I can do full screen, but Yeah. Ready for a good sleep. That is for sure. Look at us carb loading. Put my screen over here, hang out for... Oh wait, that's gonna quadruple monitor it, isn't it? I guess I'll go full screen on my cam. There we go. Put the chat over here. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you have to see that in full view. Golly, I just smashed my toe. I have my toe on the windowsill and moved my desktop. Smashed it. Oh well. My toe cramps. Yeah. No big plans. I got the video for Friday recorded, and that was fun. It's another here in my garage video, like I did back in, I think it was April. I did my old garage. This one's same type of video in the new garage, more chaotic, more fast. That'll be up on Friday. Hey Matt, thanks. I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. The massage videos have been blowing up a lot more than I expected. The first one that I did like 2-3 weeks ago blew up in terms of what I'm used to. Got like 3,000 views. Let's check. It's been great. Yeah, at the start of September, 3,500 views. I think there was a lot of traction from people. Yeah, 49 new subscribers from that video, which was kind of crazy. And then this one recently is up to 6,500 and has brought a bunch of new people. So I'm excited to hopefully start seeing some new faces around and, expand the community a bit. And we'll definitely be making massage videos, like those bed pillow massage videos, more of a mainstay on the channel, hopefully a regular thing. Maybe, I don't know how frequent, but frequent, at least regular. Thanks, Ariel. I appreciate it. I've realized that soft-spoken is easier for me to maintain and do than whispering is. Because whispering, hold on. There we go. Whispering, usually I will... I just thought that into existence. I was going to say whispering, usually I have trouble with not yawning. And it also just hurts my throat. It is not necessarily fun to just whisper. But soft-spoken is easier. I think it sounds better too, personally. And yeah, I'm glad that other people like it too. That makes it easy. Easy to keep doing it. Good reason to keep doing it. So I appreciate it. Matt, are you a teaching channel? You have a Matt's teaching time. I didn't know if you had a channel where you teach stuff. Man, I don't know why. After recording the video, I've just hit a wall. Oh well. Oh, and in the garage video for Friday, I was playing around with making a little intro, not like a intro that'll go in front of every video, but like a on theme for the garage video intro. It's like 15 seconds maybe. It's just a few camera angles and stuff. I had fun with it, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it, because I was like, well, this will be fun to make, and then it was fun to make and fun to edit. So that's exciting. I don't know how many other videos I will be able to like think up a intro for, especially if it's just ones like this, where I'm like sitting at my desk or standing at my desk or stuff like that. But we'll see. I don't really have like a room or any place to like, I don't have any props. I don't have a room to really set up anything to make anything look realistic to a certain type of role play for an intro for that or anything, but we'll see. The one yesterday was on a whim. I decided I was going to record that video like 10 minutes before I actually did, because I was hyper and I was like, I could use this energy for something good. And I did. It was a fun video to make. I was amped up, ran through my energy, and then was ready to fall asleep. Let's see. Where did I record this video? Okay. I need to clean out my folders. But it's looking like most people are heading out. So I might just call it here, call it a little early. So everybody's gone. So if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. It's fun hanging out with everybody on Livestream, and if you can make it to the lives, feel free. They're fun. You can come hang out and chat. Otherwise, I'll see you around. This video will be up on Wednesday at noon, and then been going strong with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, so that's alright. Alright. I hope that you have a good time. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you back here in a week from now. So, take care. Have a good night. And talk to you later.